Hello and welcome to Meet the Boss TV. In this program, how to avoid alert fatigue with better detection engines. Brian Foster, Chief Technology Officer with Advanced Threat Detection Experts Damballa, recently told a US cybercrime conference that with enough unfiltered network data, you can model normal good behavior versus bad behavior, and in this way more quickly identify traffic that is an unknown threat to the network. I asked him how this helps combat alert fatigue, but first, how should security professionals be thinking now the castle walls are tumbling?
For a long time, IT and information security felt like they were protecting and securing their data and their endpoints because they could control them, right? They were on their estate, inside their enterprise, inside their castle walls. What has to change now is you still need to secure those endpoints and the data that's on them, but how you do it's going to have to change. You can't do it by tight control over the device itself.
How are predictive security analytics, how are they shifting the way organizations approach their security?
So prevention is not 100%, and it's largely for reasons that we've already discussed around, perimeters gone, mobile devices, and also other things like attackers have the first move. There's asymmetry in information between what the attackers know about you and what you know about the attackers. So they have the first move. And so that's where I think IT is changing, is that people are realizing, hey, things are getting through. I've got to detect the things that get through. One of the ways that I could do that is by using these machine learning predictive analytics tools to identify my good versus bad network traffic. And then when I find the bad network traffic, can I apply enough machine learning systems such that I can truly identify what asset's infected and what it's infected with and what it's doing.
Do people still find it difficult to value their digital assets?
I think they do. I think sometimes you don't, realize how valuable something is until you lose it. And I would tell you one of the first steps of any successful CISO is a risk, understanding your risk. So certainly assigning value to your digital data.
So what business impact or impacts will an effective cybersecurity strategy, an automated breach defense system, what will that deliver for the business?
Sometimes I joke with some of my CISO friends is, they've got one of the, I think, the hardest, toughest jobs in the world, because if they do everything well, you don't notice them. And it's only, if something happens that you notice them. And so it's kind of a thankless, tough job, if you will. If you do information security well, it means that you are mitigating the riskiest things, that could happen to your environment, and you're investing in the right places. You've gone through a step of understanding the value of your digital assets and your business processes, etc. You've understood the risk to those assets and processes, and invested in, people, procedures, products, technologies to go protect those things. And if you're successful, nothing happens, and you've just spent a lot of time and money probably ensuring nothing happens. And so how do you prove the ROI to that, right? Well, the ROI is, what if something happened? What if one of your digital assets did get attacked? That's what the cost would have been if you hadn't invested in that. And you can, once again, you can assign, I think, a risk value to what is the percentage chance.
The other thing that actually genuinely does fascinate me about security is how little, although the technology's changed, of course, but how little the fundamentals haven't changed. And I remember growing up, the story of the boy who cried wolf. And right now, regardless of industry, organizations are tight on resource. They receive too much noise from legacy controls. We've talked about operational benefits, but how do you stop alert fatigue?
I think the biggest challenge that's facing information security today is the lack of trained, technical, incident response type of people, humans, to work inside organizations to help them with detecting breaches and responding to breaches, as well as kind of managing their information security environment. And what we still find today with information security technologies is most of them just send alerts, and typically they're alerts that require a human to look at to verify that, yeah, that's indeed a problem, or no, that's not a problem, right? And so the more products you have that are sending alerts, and they can be great technologies, great products, the problem is that all still feeds into humans that you have to look at it, which there's a scarce supply of. All those new technologies create alerts, and ultimately humans are bombarded with alerts, and this creates this alert fatigue that you talked about, which is there's too many alerts for the humans to deal with. They can't, one of the largest breaches we've seen in the last 12 months, they actually had alerts in their system from the malware that breached them, but across all the different thousands of alerts they had, humans didn't get a chance, it didn't deal with those alerts. And so that's alert fatigue. One of the things that my company Damballa is doing, which I'll use as an example because I think it's very important, is we don't just send alerts to humans. Once again, mindful of alert fatigue. There's not a single thing you can do that's going to protect you, completely. And what we've discovered and what we've done at Damballa is we built a platform that says there's not a single detection technique that's going to detect all the threats running in people's environments. We also think that if we want to get to 100% true conviction rate, meaning the only time we tell a human that something's infected is when we're 100% confident it's infected, we have to treat these different kind of detection techniques that we have as pieces of evidence. And it's only after, across all these detection techniques, that we've gathered enough evidence that beyond a shadow of a doubt, then we'll tell a human this asset's convicted or this asset's infected. And what this means is instead of sending a human 150,000 alerts, as our largest customer typically sees on a daily basis, we're sending them 93 active infections inside their environment, right? So 93 is actually a much more manageable number for a human to deal with than 150,000. And so the way we deal with alert fatigue is we don't send the alerts. We take the alerts ourselves and use them to help build a body of evidence. And then once we understand that body of evidence is enough to convict, we tell a human about it.
So use this detection engine to build that body of evidence. Is that it? Do you stop there?
Yeah, no, we don't, because actually, once again, thinking about the big problem that IT has of not enough humans to go around, even 93 infections is too many for humans to deal with at one time. We also have 9 different prioritization engines and kind of attributes that we assign to an infection that allows us to take those 93 infections and prioritize them 1 through 93 for the humans. And what this does then is so once again, trying to optimize the human's time, is I give them the most important threat in their environment out of all 93 that they need to go deal with now. It could be it could be a threat that's running on a cash register that is the malware is exfiltrating data actively, or it could be the CEO's laptop, et cetera. There's a lot of different ways that we look at risk that helps us prioritize it. But to say it simply, if you're not trying to solve the problem of not enough humans to go around, then you're probably causing that problem. And at Damballa, that's the problem we're focused on. How do we get more out of the humans? Give them true infections, prioritize it so they get more out of the humans' time.
For more fantastic interviews directly related to your business, be sure to explore Meet the Boss TV.